集講生活講享受，用日式燒肉方式品嚐頂級和牛嘅好味道，感受下陶泥嘅好玩之處，挑戰自己手藝，同高級首飾品牌嘅創辦人兼設計師傾下佢嘅作品同人生，仲會跟專家學下點樣過健康啲嘅生活。
Joyce，我覺得咧保持樂觀嘅心態咧好重要嘅，所以我覺得今年咧2021咧一定會越嚟越好啦，同埋咧會有越嚟越多個國家咧逐漸咁開放翻佢哋嘅旅遊業嘅。嗱，問下你啊，等個疫情好翻啲嘅時候，你最想去邊度玩啊？
咁當然係日本啦。日本唔單止近，無論係風景啊、食物啊、時裝啊，不斷咧都會俾到驚喜我哋嘅。而且咧，我最中意咧就係食日本嘢。
啊，估唔到咧，我哋都一樣咁中意日本啊！不過咧，我最掛住嘅始終係佢哋嘅和牛。
What makes it special is, first of all, most of the brand name Wagyu is normally it's the name of the city or the area of the places in Japan, but Ozaki beef is one single farmer makes it. Name of the farmer is Ozaki. That's why it's called Ozaki beef, right? That means very consistent in a very high level. And how he produce it is, he picked the best quality Wagyu baby cow that fits to his way of raising, and he feeds the natural feeds, and then the cow lives longer than usual Wagyus. Our omakase menu, which includes 6 red different cuts of Wagyu, from leaner to the fattier, the richest. I think normally the image everyone has is like very fatty because it comes from the marble. Yes, it is from like strip loin, ribeye, or those tenderloin, those premium cuts. Also, some other part includes the fat, but the quality of the fat is different, right? So I want you to feel the difference between each cut. So and we normally serve the leaner to the fattier, so you can feel the difference.
嗱，和牛咧就有好多種食法嘅，可以食生牛肉撻撻啦，又可以食鐵板燒啦。不過我自己咧就最中意食燒肉，因為你可以食到和牛嗰種甘香味啊！
嗱，除咗唔同嘅煮法之外咧，我哋仲要了解到和牛唔同嘅部位嘅，因為唔同嘅部位咧，自然就有佢獨特嘅味道啦，同埋口感。嗱，有啲 part 咧，佢就係特別受歡迎嘅，因為特別好食啊嘛。咁啊，究竟我哋應該點樣開始去揀，點樣開始去食咧？當然都有一定嘅學問。
And compared to other yakiniku places, we serve it naturally. Instead of marinating a lot of sweet sauce, we serve it like just as is and grill it to mostly rare.
Joyce 食呢個和牛咧，同食平時傳統嗰啲牛肉咧，個感覺真係完全唔同嘅。咁可能咧喺呢個和牛佢特別鮮嫩、特別多汁啦。咁啊，就算係細細啖咧，個味道都係回味無窮嘅。咁再加埋咧，廚師個秘製嘅醬汁咧，可以話係將成個和牛嘅體驗咧更加升華。
我覺得呢啲全部嘅部位咧都好好食啊。不過仲有一樣嘢咧一定要試嘅，就係呢一個蒜片和牛飯啦。哇！等我食一啖先。
喂，好味還好味啊！唔好食咁多啊！聽講話仲有甜品㗎。
好。
誒，呢嚿 OK 咯喎，嗱，俾你。
Thank you。
我好中意自己 DIY 啦，做下手作，因為覺得自己落手落腳整出嚟嘅嘢，唔單止係獨一無二，送俾人仲好有心思添。嗱，我做過好多唔同嘅手作啦，不過反而未試過整陶瓷，所以我都好期待了解多啲啊。曾經有位藝術家講過，如果從泥土嘅特性去了解陶藝，呢一種藝術其實係冇真正完成嘅作品，因為泥土加水之後又會變翻泥嘅狀態，所以陶藝最着重嘅咧就係製作過程。Hi Amber, why is pottery making getting more popular recently?
We live in a very stressful city, and people are always looking for ways to de-stress themselves.
So what's the most important element of pottery making?
I think If I have to pin down one of the most important elements, it's patience because it takes time. You can't rush it through. If you rush it through, things doesn't get done properly and then it might crack. And I think in pottery making, it's always a 50-50 chance anyway. For each steps is very crucial because it affects the next one.
Now, I know a lot of people probably, when they think of pottery, they think of pottery throwing, but there's also something I heard called hand-building pottery.
Yeah.
Now, what's the difference there?
Well, there are many ways of making ceramics. It depends on what you wanted to achieve in order to apply the techniques that it's in order to achieve the final outcome you want. Throwing, it's a bit like some of the famous scenes that you see in movies, and it needs a machine that is spinning, self-centered spinning, and everything that you make, for example, like a bowl or plate or a cup, everything is round shape. So it's quick and easy. And if you want to make something that is in productions identical, then using the wheel would be perfect. Hand building, if you wanted to achieve something, for example, like a sculpture or things that it's not just round shapes, then you will need to apply hand building techniques in order to make, for example, like human figures, or it could be anything that is irregular shapes.
Now, I see a lot of people think that, pottery is just, putting objects together with clay, but there's also methods for coloring them, isn't there?
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that?
So the technical term for coloring in ceramics is called glazing. And there are many different ways of glazing and glazes around the world. Some people prefer painting, so that we call underglazes. And some people prefer dipping or spraying, and that usually with overglazes. So it depends on the outcomes that you wanted to achieve in order to apply which type of glazes you would wanted to use.
Oh, I see. I heard there's also something called luster or gold luster. How's that different from glaze?
So gold luster is made from pure gold. And if you wanted to highlight something, for example, you've made a piece and it's got a little animal on the top, and then you wanted to have the spotlight, then we would apply gold luster, silver luster. There are many different types of lusters made from natural material, and you fire up to a certain degree and it comes out shiny like gold.
Now, how do you think pottery making benefits like kids or just anyone who wants to try pottery making?
I don't think there is a limit in terms of age or background or what kind of things you're into in pottery making, because it's a bit like building sandcastles when you were kids.
Right.
You use a material in order to build something that's 3D, and you need the imaginations in your head. So it's using clay. Clay is just a lump of things, and then you need to sculpt it, and then also you need to think, you need to evaluate in order to see if the making or the method that you are using is correct or not. For kids, it trains their patience, and also it trains them to help them understand that even though you've done each step correctly, the outcome doesn't always come out as the way you want it, because it can crack. We're not, during firing, we're not in the kiln to see it. So you don't really know what the results will be like until the moment you open the kiln. And I think that's definitely a learning process for kids, because it's the same as it reflects like lives. It takes you to the unexpected turns, and then you just have to deal with it, pick yourself up. If it breaks, pick yourself up again and do it all over again.
Now, in your opinion, do you think pottery is more functional or decorative?
I think it can be both. Well, it is both. Some people are much more into the whole functional ways. For example, making tablewares. Usually we call them potters. So people are much more into the whole ceramics making productions. So they make the same cups, they make the same bowl. And some people like to use things at their homes and also, fit into their lifestyles with things that they've made, because it's a sense of achievement. I think for decorative part, for example, if you come from a painting background and then you really like ceramics and you want to blend the two together, then you can paint in ceramics, but obviously the canvas will be clay and the glazes will be different.
由泥土變成自己心目中嘅作品，成個過程好 relaxing 㗎。見到最後嘅製成品，仲好有滿足感添。如果你都中意啲手工陶瓷，不妨考慮下自己整啊！其實成個過程又唔難，仲好好玩添。
Jewelry to me is very precious in the first place and something very personal, something valuable that you could pass on to your next generation. Hi, I'm Dennis Chan, a jewelry designer. I like to bring the best of modern Chinese design to the world based on our rich heritage and history. I started as an industrial designer, but then I have passion in watches and jewelry. And as I said earlier, jewelry is very personal. Always stick to yourself. So that's why I start to design jewelry.
What do you find most satisfying about your work as a jewelry designer?
I think to create jewelry is to create something that people could carry on to the next generation. Because jewelry expresses a lot of love and meanings. And then it's something very intimate, stick to yourself, and then something very valuable because it won't change. And then the good thing is that you can pass that legacy, your love, your passion to your next generation.
And it can stand the test of time.
You're right. Let me show you this one. Very special.
How's it special?
You turn it. Bang, bang.
Wow, it blooms.
Yes.
It's like a secret button.
You're right.
So you can wear it both ways.
Yep.
So how would you describe your design?
My design, of course, is very Oriental or Chinese inspired by a lot of motifs in China. But then I try to make it very modern and so that you can carry with your daily fashion. And also I would say my design is very straightforward and minimal because I think the simple things can last for a long time.
Are there any symbolic meanings that you want to carry out?
Yes, very much. I mean, as a Chinese, we know the idea in our blood already. Like, for example, a Wulu, it expresses like love, protection, fortune. And you don't have to teach people because they all know about that. So then actually the ones that you see in Hong Kong,
the lioness.
the lioness are more the southern lion. But this is a northern China lion.
And what's the difference?
Got ears.
Oh, these ears.
Yes, big ears.
So how do you work on your creative skills in order to stay competitive?
I try to stick very much to the latest fashion trends. It's not only about jewelry design, it's about art, architecture, music. But I find if you expose yourself to various kind of art, you will stay like up to date and know what's happening.
And you can draw inspiration from all these different kinds of places.
Exactly.
Apart from being a jewelry designer, I understand that you're also a sports car enthusiast. Could you share with us about your cars?
Yes, sort of. Actually, I'm not a fan of speed, but I think I enjoy the design better because to me, the form of the car is like a piece of art. And as well, I like the color.
Why this choice of color?
I think I don't have a particular choice on colors, but then when I saw these cars, I think it's very fascinating and very special. And you know, for sports car, you need sharp colors because it's more noticeable.
But they're the same color. There must be a reason.
Yes, I think that is a bit amazing even for myself. And I do have some other colors, but when I look at the screen, I think, wow, it's really sharp and nice. I don't know why, and then...
Just attracted you.
You're right. I think it's a bit stupid to get the two cars same color.
No, I'm sure you love this color subconsciously or something.
You're right, you're right.
So if you had to pick jewelry or automobile, which one would you pick?
Well, then, of course, I think I prefer jewelry. Jewelry is more versatile. You have bigger piece of jewelry and also smaller piece. And I think I prefer jewelry. And also jewelry is more close to yourself. It's like sticking to your skin. So I
More
think I will.
delicate as
Yes,
well.
I think I'll pick jewelry.
So if you had to pick another career, what would it be?
Well, I think I will still stay in the area of art and design. And I like sculptures, I like music, very much creative stuff I like. And maybe I will be an artist, I guess.
So would you say you're like born creative?
Maybe, probably. I hope so.
Well, today we saw a lot of very delicate and beautiful jewelry and beautiful sports cars, so thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
雖然而家係疫情啦，大家都要韞喺屋企，韞到又攰又悶啊，之不過
I just do some yoga, just whatever my body feels like. Most of the time I just do some Surya Namaskars and I just keep going for 20 minutes. The last 20 minutes is when I take a cup of coffee, sit back and I do some journaling.
what has been the difference between like doing this hour of getting ready and not doing it for you?
Oh, an insane difference in my level of productivity. Like next level. Like the first few days, okay, to be honest, I struggled because I just wasn't used to getting up at that time and actually doing something productive with my life. But the minute I got used to it, it actually took my productivity to the next level.
So, other than dieting and physical activity, what other tips have you got for us to sustain a healthy lifestyle?
So I like a pretty minimalistic approach around me. For example, this could be tricky for some people living in Hong Kong because normally the houses are much smaller here than they are in other countries, right? And of course, people like things, they like to possess things, and people buy a lot more than they need. Now, where do you store it? But all around you.
But why does it help?
I feel it's a direct reflection of your state of mind. So you should try it, actually. Try it like an experiment, okay? For a week, don't tidy your room up.
Okay.
Just leave things lying around everywhere and just track, what is your productivity at work? How clear are your thoughts? How much peace of mind do you have?
okay? And then do the opposite the next week. And I
Right.
guarantee you will see a difference.
今日同 Mayuri 傾完偈之後咧，我發覺得着良多啊！而其中一個建議咧，我覺得好多人都啱用嘅咧，就係首先要從食物方面入手。個重點就係咧，你要揾到一個你係維持到嘅健康飲食習慣啊！因為長遠計 ，you are what you eat。而另外咧，對於我自己嚟講啦，我諗每一朝早我都會抽少少時間出嚟做一啲呼吸運動，咁就將我個心情平靜落嚟，從容不迫咁樣去迎接每一日。
今集嘅節目時間又差唔多啦，想知多啲啱啱介紹過嘅內容，好簡單，上去我哋嘅網頁睇下就得啦。嚟緊繼續享受甜美嘅生活，試下嚟自世界各地嘅醉人美食，睇下有咩方法令每一日過得健康啲、開心啲，仲會緊貼各種潮流資訊，同唔同嘅名人傾下偈，攞啲生活靈感。想盡情享受人生，就千祈唔好錯過下一集嘅節目啦！